Craftier City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today.
From Rabbit Resort and also from Gunji Cafe, Coffee, which is going to be really interesting. Like all of you, I've seen the cafe spring up with the marijuana leaves on them and going, yeah, what's on offer here? And is it actually any good for me? And wasn't I told all my life to avoid marijuana and the devil's weed, etc.? You'll end up sleeping with people you don't know. Maybe I should have smoked more of it rather than... Anyway, so we're very lucky that Paysan's come here to give us a talk because he's really on the cutting edge of offering the products and knowing about what they can do for you, good they can do for you. So welcome Paysan from Rabbit Resort.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Thank you very much for inviting me to come to this wonderful club. And is everybody ready to get high? I'm joking. I'm not here to encourage you to get high. I'm here for the health. We are, very young right here, I can say. So I'm not an expert. First of all, I'd like to let you know that I'm not an expert in cannabis. I'm not in medical industries. Also, I'm not a cannabis addict. The reason I'm getting involved with cannabis because of the sleeping disorder that get me involved in cannabis, because I want to find a way. How do I go about getting rid of my sleeping disorder? This is really bothering me in the last 30, 40 years. So what I did was I started to take seminars, meetings. I went to meetings. I went to conventions. I went to take classes in universities around the country, from the north to south, from the west to the east, to study about cannabis. As you know, the word cannabis is Latin. Actually, cannabis, it's in Thailand, in this region, it's from the sativa strain, sativa hemp strain. There are 3 types of species in the world. Sativa species, indica, and rudialis. Most of you probably know. So I went to study about cannabis and meeting a lot of people. There were a lot of people from the medical industries, also professional modern medicine doctors, Thai traditional medicine doctors, which is probably most of the foreigners don't understand or don't know there are Thai medicine doctors here. We have lawyers. I met with many lawyers, and also public prosecutors, people that specialize in the legality part of it. Also, in addition to that, of course, every meeting, the people that were there participate in the meetings also as a speaker, also from Drug Enforcement Agency, and also the DEA and FDA. In addition to that, a lot of sick people that have recovered by using cannabis to treat their illness were there as speakers. You can hear from their hand-on experience about how they recover from their illness because they use cannabis. Okay, we were there not to talking about recreational cannabis. We talk about something that would help us, regardless how young you are, how old you are. And this is one of the meetings that I participated. I participated countless number of meetings. This picture over here, oh no, I'm sorry. This I went to went to Chayapum in Isan district, in Isan province, in that area. I met with a lot of nice people. A lot of them were Thai medicine doctors, community leaders, Gamnan Pujai Ba, the village head people, and they were cannabis activists. This is before the law passed. And I'll tell you when the law passed. These people were there to talk about the benefit of the cannabis. There were a lot of these people, some of them were patients, some of them were people that were interested in making profit to make cannabis as a cash crop, and they can benefit from it. And I was there, right there. And these people over there, you see those people over there? Those people from the villages in Isan, they went there to find out what kind of medicine they can get. Mostly, they were patients. These people, see, they were waiting in vain to get the medicine, the cannabis medicine that would be dispensed by Thai doctors. They're waiting for hours and hours and hours. We went to 3 temples. They used the temple as a place to dispense the cannabis, of course illegally back in that time. However, these people were activists and they were advocates. They were daring. They were not afraid of the police. In addition to that, I had the opportunities to to participate in a seminar, which is one of the largest seminars in Isan area in Korat, organized by University of Surat Nari. And there you can see this is the largest, by far the largest factory that they do production from herbs as medicine and also as supplement for people. And these are technicians and people that introduces what these machines are for. And I also went up to Chiang Rai. Up to Chiang Rai, it was quite cold then. That lady right there, she is not the queen pin, okay? She was the village head of the Hmong, the Hill tribe people. And they grow hemp. See, this is a hemp farm on the hillside. And I was holding this. You see this thing? That's the flower, cannabis flower. That's big as the squirrel tail. The squirrel tail is a strain of cannabis originated from Sakon Nakhon. Who knows Sakon Nakhon? Okay. And Ren, you get the first prize for answering that. Here. Okay, who's the second? Okay, here you go. This is good for you. It's a tea, cannabis tea bag. All right? Sakon Nakhon originated this strain. It's called squirrel tail, หางกระรอก เคยได้ยินไหมครับ นะฮะ This is a famous strain. หางกระรอก from Sakon Nakhon, squirrel tail, it's good for medicine. Okay, back 50 years ago, more than 50 years ago, Israeli scientists believed to be commissioned by the American CIA to study about cannabis, do research about cannabis. And the first country they went out from Israel to go to is Thailand. And their destination was Sakon Nakhon, เทือกเขาภูพาน Phupan mountain region. That was famous for medicinal cannabis. So they went to Phupan mountain and they brought back cannabis trees, cannabis seeds, went back there more than 50 years ago and grow them. Took them a year, not successful. They could not do it. Who knows why? Soil, right? What else? Yeah, the environment, everything, humidity, climate, soil, water, minerals in the air, mineral in the soil, and everything. So makes it impossible for them to grow medical grade cannabis. So what did they do? They went back to Sakonnakhon and they hired about 80 farmers from Sakonnakhon, from Chayapum, from the region of Isan to go back there and teach them how to grow. So eventually there were about 3 generations of these growers, farmers from Thailand, from Isan district, went to Israel to teach them how to grow. Because the weather there is not suitable for, you know, what we have, the production you can get from the cannabis here. So it became hybrid. No matter, you know, you have the experts even go and teach them, the cannabis will change. It became hybrid. But according to the person, the scientist that leading the expedition, his name was Dr. Raphael Mishulam. You study that, you go into Google and you can see. This man was named the father of the modern day cannabis. Okay. So you see this thing over here. This is the largest leaf I ever seen. It's a hemp leaf. It's not cannabis. No, cannabis leaf is a lot slower. And then those are the trees, and that's just a whole gang of people there that were enthusiasts, and also some Thai medicine doctors. And we were, after our involvement with cannabis for about 2 years, we were among the first groups of people in Thailand enter into a contract, signing the Memorandum of Understanding and also Memorandum of Agreement to grow cannabis in Thailand. That's in 2000, early 2019. And you can see that's a lady over there. That beautiful lady over there, she was elected as the Mrs. Cannabis by me. Okay, and this man over here, this gentleman over there, he was back then the assistant to the Minister of Health. He was presided over the ceremony. And after signing the ceremony, they took us up to the rooftop of the university. This is a university in Bangkok, a Pranakon University, which among the first that get the permit to grow cannabis indoor for medical grade. So we were just right there. We could get involved very easily to grow cannabis, medical grade or indoor or, you know, in the greenhouse or whatever if we wanted to. Probably somebody will ask me, why didn't you do it? Okay, we'll leave that later for question and answer. By the way, Ren, I'll be talking only about 20 minutes. I'm going to leave a lot of time for questions. I bet a lot of people here that want to ask a lot of questions. And you see, you have to, it's very restricted. Before you enter to the facilities, you must go through a lot of requirements. You see a scanner over there, CCTVs over there, and fence. How many layers of fence? So many of them. So everything are recorded. And DEA, FDA can go on, you know, internet online and watch what you're doing about what you're doing with those facilities. And this is the indoor farming. See, they use this is the coconut fiber. They chop them into pieces. And then you see you have humidity control, evaporative cooler, lighting, artificial lighting, in order to fool the cannabis that you still have to grow, even at nighttime, because inside is dark. And this is ISO wall. Right, everything protected, and also the They feed them with nutrition, which is specially designed and without any chemical or heavy metal in there. And, you know, most of the people were interested, are still interested into how we alternatively farming or breeding the cannabis in the shortest way possible, in the quickest way possible. So what happened is we went to this largest factory in Thailand about tissue culture. See, in tissue culture, anybody knows about tissue culture? Okay. Okay, you know that? Okay, good. Okay, here's one for you. Right? Tissue culture is the easiest way to grow a whole bunch of the cannabis trees in the bottle. That's what you do in a bottle. Oh, sorry. Okay, in the bottle here. See, this company was the largest company in the world, while the orchids were still very popular in the world. People around the world come to Thailand to visit this factory and hire them to do the tissue culture for the cannabis. So we went there and find out what we can do with the cannabis, how we can grow it by using the most, very little land area. Can we do it indoor? Can we do it in a very small area of land or anywhere on the rooftop to produce a lot of cannabis? Back in 1979, Thailand came up with the first narcotic acts because the pressure from Uncle Sam. All the countries in the world, right? You outlaw cannabis because someone, the most powerful guy in the world, telling you this is what you need to do. In 79, we come up with the narcotic acts that what happens is there will be penalties of up to five years imprisonment or a fine of up to 50,000 baht if you were in possession and caught with the cannabis up to 10 kilograms. But if you're in possession of more than 10 kilograms, what happens? Those penalties will be harsh. A fine of up to 20,000 baht, up to 150,000 baht. And also a sentence of from 2 years up to 15 years imprisonment. That was a harsh, penalty. So this is the law. What happened in the law? And back in 2019, Thailand started to legalize the cannabis for medical use. Because of who? Because of the activists. And also because of who? Politicians. Sometimes you have to give credit to politicians. Even though they don't live up to everything they promise, but at least they helped pass the law. The first country in Southeast Asia that passed law for cannabis for medical purposes, which is great for Thailand. Sometimes we are not happy with whatever the politicians do to us, but, we better take it or nothing, right? And in January 2019, also World Health Organization also changed the classification of the cannabis from Schedule 4 to Schedule 1. Schedule 4 was for the most dangerous drugs, right? So it's improvement. It's an improvement. Vietnam War started in 1956 and ended in 1975. I think most of you are not old enough to live to that. So what happened is during the time, American troops escalated from 16,000 soldiers up to more than 500 soldiers. After the war, you know what happened with these people? They were, young people, soldiers, 18 to 20 years old mostly, and 1 out of 10 of them died in the war. So what happened is, America, Uncle Sam, used Thailand as a base in Udon Thani and also Utapao as a B-52s bombers base to go and attack the Vietnam. And they used Thailand as R&R's locations. When they come, what happened? Back then they were, they come here, and what they do is they don't know what's going to happen to them the next day. Once they got shipped back to Vietnam, they could die. 1 out of 10 of them would be dead. So what they do, they enjoy themselves. Cannabis was introduced to the American soldiers. See, those GIs, they're drinking booze, they're doing drugs, they're doing cannabis. Cannabis was cheaper than cigarettes, cheaper than beer, right? So they get high. What they do is just get high. Cannabis doesn't hurt anybody, People get high, they get stoned, they get happy, or they get panicked, they don't go out and kill people, those kind of things. And the cannabis became very popular among the American soldiers. And who are those people? Wait a minute. Sorry. Okay, here. You know those guys? Okay, all right. Here's your prize. Here you go. Cheech and Chong. Oh, there's a gentleman in the mask. Are you Zorro? And Ren, you already got one. Anybody else? Okay. Cheech and Chong, you're the Cheech and Chong, generation. Hey man, far out, huh? You remember that, right? Yeah, these people just introduced the cannabis, marijuana to the American world. So during that time, the hippies were into marijuana pretty bad, right? And during that time, gancha, we call it gancha, cannabis gancha in Thailand became the most famous in the world. Get people high, get you happy. Anybody that did not smoke gancha, you choi in Thai, you outdated. So everybody did that. So this American soldiers, what did they do? They sent the cannabis back to their country, to their loved ones, to their families, to their friends, by U.S. military postal office. No checking, no inspection. They have the privilege because they were war heroes, right? Okay, anyways, cannabis became so popular in the world that what happened was the drug kingpin, so-called drug kingpin, Thai, and together with the military and American kingpins, they worked together. They smuggled cannabis to the U.S. and around the world. And how they did it? How did they do it? Huh? Yes, you got it. Yeah, that's the right question to get some treats. Body bags. What? Okay, thank you, thank you. That's good. But the drug kingpins did that. They smuggled them in almost 60,000 body bags. They ship them by the tons and tons of them, making billions of dollars, selling marijuana, Thai. And, the marijuana, the gunshot that they sent, and it's good for smoking, the most potent for smoking is not from Sakonnakhon. It's not. It's from Chayapum. Sakonnakhon is for medicine. The dirt that they in Sakonnakhon is black dirt. In Chayapum is red dirt. Make it smell so good for smoking. That was the most popular marijuana being exported for smoking around the world. Okay, now we go to the benefits of marijuana to our health. Who has problem with chronic pain? No one. Okay, Judith? Okay. Here you go, Judith. A lot of people. Who does not have problem with chronic pain? Okay, right? You don't have problem. You're lucky ones. Who has problem pain in the butt? Okay, you get one. But not a good answer. My wife would not approve that, but you get one. And another gentleman, also two of them. Okay. Okay. I'm talking about hemorrhoid. Nothing else. Nothing about your wife. Okay, only hemorrhoid. Who has problem with hemorrhoid? Nobody has problem with hemorrhoid. I have a special prize for you. Come on, admit it. Nobody admits that. Who doesn't have problem with hemorrhoid? Okay. You don't need to use cannabis. Use it, mentholatum, that's for you. I guarantee you in the next few days, woo, it's gone. Here. Ready? This mentholatum. Anything menthol. All right? Not mental. Okay, chronic pain, it's unbelievable. Deborah has problem with chronic pain. And after she started to use the cannabis tea, some people can tolerate the heavy-duty cannabis. Some people don't. Some people can't. So it's like me. I use those tincture, heavy-duty cannabis tincture. It doesn't help me. I use the micro-dosing, helps me, right? In the small dose of cannabis with coconut oil, it helps me. She is good with the tea, cannabis tea. Me too. I'm very good with cannabis tea with my sleeping, disorder. That's very good for me. And also lungs. You know how they treat the lungs problem with cannabis? Yeah, exactly, inhaling it. Smoking would help. It goes right directly to the lungs, go to the brain, right? This is the upper part of central nervous system is the, you have the CB1 receptors. This will go right into your receptor in your nervous system, central nervous system, right? The lower part is the immune system. And there are different ways to consume it. I'll tell you later, and also diabetes. I have friends and also my staff have problems, severe case of diabetes. This guy has diabetes. This guy has high blood pressure, high cholesterol. As soon as I giving him the cannabis tea for him to drink. This is what the fringe benefit for working for my company. Yeah, I feed them with the cannabis tea, every day. The kitchen will be boiling it, and they can come and get it, But I have a quota, no more than 1 glass. You know why? They get lazy. So they take cannabis tea, and then what happened was, after a couple of weeks, the sugar level was regulated, was getting better. Cholesterol level is lower, blood pressure is lower. See, but people with the low blood pressure, you have to monitor that. Don't take too much of the cannabis, because it will lower your blood pressure. But once you lower your blood pressure, what happens? You become dizzy. Very easy to treat that. Very easy. You don't need to run to the hospital. What you do is drink something sweet, eat something sweet. You bring up your blood level. And also overdosing. You hear there's propaganda from the hospital, or a lot of modern medicine doctors said, oh, cannabis is not good. Because it will make you overdose, you can die from that, and people rush to where? The emergency. See, the emergency doctors, all you have to do, this happened to me actually, I just admit that. Okay, when I had problems trying to find out, what can help me with my sleeping insomnia. So I started to use the tincture. You're supposed to start it little by little. Okay, more at a time, a little bit at a time. However, everyone is different because your receptors is different. Some is more sensitive than another. I just used 1 drop, and I didn't feel anything after half an hour. That's what the doctor said, the Thai traditional medicine doctor suggested. Don't take it too much. See how you go. Half an hour and see. If it's not enough, you can increase it. Increase the dose. So I used another drop. Man, unbelievable. I could not walk up straight from the bed. I wanted to go to the toilet, The wall. What happens to the wall? I can't even touch it. It becomes just like a curve, just like a cinemascope. I was falling down. However, I remember what the doctor reminded me to do. I prepare the lime and salt. You cut the lime into half and dip it in the salt and squeeze in your mouth and leave the lime in your mouth. 15 minutes, it's gone. Unbelievable. So don't be panicked if you overdose with that. I don't tell you when I was young, during the teenage time, also overdosed with that. I survived, Cannabis never kill people. Okay? Booze too much, smoking too much kill people. So, it's pretty safe. Depression, okay? Depend on your receptors. Some people using cannabis more depressed. Some people using cannabis happy. You forget about anxiety and depression. Seizure, epilepsy. Oh, this thing, sorry. I'm not very good with this. Epilepsy. Who has heard of Charlotte's Web? Charlotte's Web? You heard of Charlotte's Web? Okay. Who hasn't got the treats? Honey, please. Please give this to the gentleman. The gentleman in the green. Charlotte's Web. And another gentleman in the back. Yes, in the hat. Oh, you already got one, that's right. Another gentleman in the back behind you. Okay. Charlotte's Web. Charlotte Thc. She was a child. She was 5 years old. and she had epilepsy. The seizure was so bad, 100 times a day. She was dying. The parents were so, can't see. When you see your child like that, what do you do? You're just heartbreaking. So they went to doctors, and the doctor, modern medicine, could not help with the epileptic seizures. So they did a lot of research until they find out there was two guys, the Stanley's brothers. Those people were hippies. They do their own cannabis, and they produce something like CBD. They call it CBD. Heavily CBD, very low THC. THC is tetrahydrocannabinoid, which is psychoactive. You don't want to take too much of that. That's what happened to me. The CBD non-psychoactive, very little THC. But if this is in such a way that only pure CBD, then it's not a full spectrum. You're losing out all the almost 500 compounds which are beneficial to your body, to your health. However, so Charlotte's parents went to these two guys and said, please help. So they gave the parents the CBD. So she started to take CBD. Within a very short time, her seizures have reduced dramatically, only from 100 times a day to only a few times a day, until eventually she was cured. Amazing. And you know what? That's the start of the American to legalize the cannabis, because they see how beneficial it is for cannabis to the health of the people. That saved her life. So it's not, you can use it for fun, for recreational purposes, but this is beneficial to the health. The medicinal benefit is far more outweigh the problem. Do you see these nuns? This is a convent somewhere in Europe, either Italy or somewhere I don't know, France or whatever. These nuns grow cannabis in the convent. They smoke cannabis. And this convent was used to treat people with health problems that could not rely or depend on modern medicine anymore. These nuns are happy. Okay, and they're happy to help people, to save lives, to save health. Cannabis is natural, not chemical. A lot of people having problem, people with diabetes, they're taking the medicine, diabetes medicine, and what happened? Causes heart disease. And you take medicine for heart disease, what does it lead to? Cancer. Recently, one of the big pharmas came out to admit that after 10 years of the medicine that they invented to treat rheumatoid arthritis, after 10 years that DEA of the USA approved. They admitted that after research, after the fact that has been approved. Can you believe that? They approved the medicine before the clinical trial. What happened was they admitted that from their findings, the medicine to treat rheumatoid arthritis created blood clots, heart disease, and lead to cancer. They came out, admit to the world, and there's a law company doing a class action suit against them. I don't want to mention the name of the big pharma. All right? So you can see a lot of side effects you can get from modern medicine. But not every modern medicine not good. Some are very good. Modern medicine is very good for quick treatment. Stop the pain, stop something very quickly. Chemotherapy, still necessary, but eventually will lead to cancer. A lot of people that I met with the hands-on experience that had chemotherapy, they still use cannabis after the treatment to maintain their lifestyle in order to improve their receptor, the quality of life. And Thai herbal medicine, more than 90 formulas, almost 100 formulas, have cannabis as an ingredient in the formulas. Thai traditional medicine or herbal medicine go into your body to rebalance your system. It takes longer effects, but it goes into the root of the problems. Not like modern medicine, just treat your symptom and that's it. Symptom is gone, it will possibly reoccur. So this is one thing to think about. It's an alternative way to treat yourself. Many ways to consume cannabis. You can use it to eat. You know, your Western food, you can do it, mix it with the soup, brownies, cakes, bread, can do that. In Thai people, you know, can mix it with som tam,ก๋วยเตี๋ยวเรือ ก๋วยเตี๋ยวเรือ both noodle soups traditionally had cannabis. You don't even know it. You know, it's very good for your system, right? Som tam, ไก่ย่าง all kind of things you can mix with cannabis. Okay, and also traditionally Thai food mixed with cannabis. You know what does it do to you? In those days we did not have MSG. Who likes MSG here? Monosodium glutamate. Not good to your body. You know, you get cancer from that. Cannabis has this glutamic acid, natural glutamic acid in it. Does not cause cancer. Help your digestive system, help you with your health, balancing your system and everything. It is in the cannabis, especially in the tree, in the stem and the branches. Excellent. We also have that. Okay, and also we mix it with our food. It doesn't give you the THC. It does not have the psychoactive. There's no psychedelic effects at all. So cannabis is very good for your health. You can eat it. You can, you know, in the West, they use it to make it pills, capsules, and also tablets, also powder. You can mix it, you know, dissolve it in water. There are many ways to use it. And who smoke bong? Anybody smoke bong? You, right? Okay. Okay, you get a treat. Yeah, bong is good for you. You know why? Bong is designed, you know, is from, you know, the wisdom from the old time. It's better than smoking joint. You know why? Because smoke goes through water. Water acts as a filter. You know, get rid of the bad things, only the good thing you inhale into your system. Okay, so bong was designed for that. And in the old days, there were ox cart caravan deliver products from the Isan area, from Nong Khai all the way down to Saraburi. Back then, In the old days, they were jungles. Dong Paya Yen, the Thai people would know. That's the area you don't want to go. It's got dengue fevers. It's got malarias. In that caravan, the most important person is a Thai medicine doctor. Must go with these people because it's a trade caravan. They bring products from the northeast down to the central Saraburi before they go to Bangkok to sell. And people in the caravan got dengue fever, got malaria. You can die of fever. You know what they use? They use the water from the bong that they smoke to let the people to drink it, the patients to drink it, to get rid of the fever. Is that amazing? Yeah, this is ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom. See how good cannabis has been. And they get away with it. They criminalize it. They make outlaw it. This is absurd. This is what happened because there's so much conflict between cannabis and modern medicine. People believe that if cannabis is totally legalized, it can save people a lot of money. It will reduce the income, the revenue from the big farmers by half. And you know that, what happened. That's why they will buy time to outlaw it as long as possible. Okay, tincture. Who knows Rick Simpson? Okay, those two gentlemen, you already got the prize. Who else know Rick Simpson? You know that. Okay, Rick Simpson, honey, please. You know that? Okay. Rick Simpson is a Canadian. Rick Simpson had a bad case of skin cancer on his face. Went to see many doctors. You know, doctors gave him medicine, to put on his face. Couldn't help. Went to see all sorts of doctors, every doctor in voodoo doctors or whatever, could not help him. So doctors sent him home. But he didn't want to give up. So he studied about cannabis. And he grew his own cannabis trees. And he using the flower and the buds to soak in the solvent like alcohol and stir it. I'll tell you later about I saw this thing, being processed. Stir it until it's dry. Alcohol evaporates, only the tincture left in the pot. He did it in the kitchen, but be very careful, it blow up. It will blow up because of alcohol, inflammable. So then he started to use the tincture on his cancer, on the skin, put him on. And he patched him with Band-Aids. After 2 weeks, he went to see doctor again, say, doctor, please look at my problem, my skin problem. The doctor took away the Band-Aid. You know what happened? Cancers were gone. It was a miracle. Unbelievable. Ever since that happened, this guy been growing cannabis illegally in Canada to help poor people, people that cannot get help from modern medicine. So he went around, people calling from around the world, from North America, South America, and looked for help from him, people that had cancer. And he sent them for free. Other people come to him, and he advised them what to do with the cannabis. It's amazing, a lot of amazing stories. And you can use this as cream, balm, oil for your skin. It penetrates to your bloodstream. Also in the old days, Thai massage used cannabis oil CBD, THC, to rub on your body to help your chronic pain, loosen your muscle, get rid of the muscle tissue, those kind of things. Very, very helpful, CBD, all right? Juicing cannabis. This is raw cannabis. Amazing. You ever heard of the Courtney? This lady's name, her last name is Courtney, because eventually she married to a doctor who treated her. This girl was only about 16 years old. She has all kind of health problems. She was taking so many medicine, 40 tablets a day. Her face was like a moon, you know, full moon, the size of the full moon. And she was very ill, and also many doctors said, no way, you probably will not live long, as there's no way you're going to have children. And she started to do research until she found a doctor called William Courtney. This doctor believed in using the raw cannabis for juicing, to mix with vegetables, mix with fruits. She started to do that, using that for a while, for several months, and her problem was gone. Slowly gone, slowly disappear, and eventually she became perfect, had children with the doctor, you know. So it's amazing that what cannabis can do for you. So we're not here to talk about addiction. We're not here to talk about psychoactive effects, you know. But it's okay if you need that to relax yourself, alleviate your anxiety or depression. Smoking is another way to do it. Okay, and then we're going to go to the, before we go to the lucky draws, we have a lot of goodies for you. Before we go to the lucky draws, I'm opening for the question and answers. Okay, please.
You talk a lot about CBD oil, and then you talk about THC. So those are very, very different. And what we get in here, as far as I know, is CBD. There's no THC. So we could get 100 of these, and we're not going to get high. And I wonder if you could just clear that up for me. Are you also suggesting that THC is healthy, and secondly, and most importantly, is it obtainable in Thailand legally?
Okay, that's a very good question. THC, for example, many of the people that I know I met at the seminars, they use THC as the treatment for their illness. This thing has psychoactive effects, so there are many ways, many forms of taking them. People that have problem with the CB1 central nervous system, they can use by putting drops under their tongue. The reason why under the tongue, anybody knows? Yeah, that's right. You have the small blood veins, you know, in your under your tongue, so it can absorb it directly. So it helps them, but you can tolerate up to a certain amount, and you get, you know, overdose or whatever, get drunk or get dizzy, get sick. So another way is they put them into capsules and they swallow them. That's one way of doing it, all right? And also believed to have medicinal benefit to treat cancer also, certain types of cancer. However, CBD also very good for cancer too. For example, my brother, my very own brother, he has kidney disease. He needs dialysis 3 times a day, 3 times a week. And then he also has cancer in his bladder. So he happened to know his close friend, one of his closest friends. He's an expert in cannabis. So he prescribed him with the 7 strain of cannabis that has high CBDs. Okay, this is from a specific area from Suphanburi. There's one politician that grows thousands of cannabis trees, and he did the extraction, everything to get the CBD. He could separate CBD from THC. And then he was taking this for almost a year. And the last 3 times that he went for blood checkup, the cancer was gone. Okay, so depends. So I'm not an expert in that area, all right? But I can, this is what I can tell you as much as I can about the difference between the THC and the CBD. But if you want to get high, you go with THC. But people with lung cancer, I heard they use the CBD. They use the bong or the joint to smoke. The best way is use the bong, not the joint. Because the joint, it doesn't go through the water. All right? Yes, sir.
Try to find a Thai traditional medicine treatment center, or where do you go to acquire this?
Okay. I'm sorry, I want to get back to you about your question about where to acquire the THC, right? Okay, or CBD. Currently, actually, been 2 years now, the government pharmaceutical company produce different strength of this cannabis oil, the cannabis tincture. One is 100% THC. The 100% THC means there's certain amount of THC mixed with nothing, not the CBD, with coconut oil. Okay, that's classified to be 100% THC. Then they have another strength, is 100% CBD. And another one is half and half, 1-to-1, THC and CBD. You can get it dispensed legally through a licensed modern medicine doctor. All right? And in Gay's office, right, your doctor will be getting a license to be able to prescribe that. Yes, your doctor, okay? So he's getting a license right now to be able to prescribe that. And then, to answer your question about what was your question again? I'm sorry. Okay, there's public hospitals. There are public hospitals. Okay, you can go to the health department. They have the cannabis clinic. All right, health department in Bangkok. They have, it's called cannabis clinic. You can go online, make appointment with them. Their THC.
A few years ago, and it was said like he was the best. I built him up as the best soul singer in Thailand, and nobody disagreed with me. It's like, why haven't you won Australian Idol or something? He's a fantastic singer and a lovely guy, and he's put together a sort of Christmas CD with his child. She does some of the singing. You might remember her when she was here last with her, Rinya. And they're going to be here next week with the pianist, the keyboard player that's played on the album. They're going to be, so it's going to be a really strong taste of Christmas, where you're going to get Adrian and his daughter singing some of these famous Christmas songs. So it's going to be a very special morning. I hope you all turn up for it. And on that note, it is my pleasure to introduce, well, I think it's a pleasure. Les is going to do the second half here and do open forum. Welcome, Les.
The cannabis formula was, using the model of Ajahn Decha. Ajahn Decha, this guy he's a cannabis activist. And finally, the government, accepted him as he's got a folk doctor. So he could prescribe that. So he gave this formula, the license to the government and also a Paipu-based hospital. A Paipu-based hospital is a private hospital. They specialize in traditional Thai medicine in Prachinburi. Pattaya, you can go to, they have the local, it's called the Tambon Hospital. รพสต โรงพยาบาลประจำตำบล Tambon Hospital. Tambon Hospitals. You see, in Thailand, you have province, you have the country, you have the province, and you have the Ampere, and then the Tambon. The smallest part of the government administration would be the Tambon. รพสต go to the Tambon Hospital. That have doctors specialized in cannabis. They have to be licensed in cannabis. You have to check around. Or go to if not here, in Pattaya, you go to Chonburi. There are many places. Okay, in Chernobyl, that would be able to prescribe you with that. But this is low dose. This is kind of 3% THC. Okay, but I believe it's full spectrum. They did not totally take out the CBD or any other compounds. There are more than 500 compounds in the cannabis, which is excellent for your health. Okay. Next, please.
Thank you very much, Paisan. This is really to address to Dr. Patrick, please. When you get your license for the cannabis, if you could let me know, please, then we can have it circulated in the newsletter. Dr. Patrick is at Shorecell, and he has other clinics around Pattaya, very close to all of us. So if he lets us know, hopefully he gets the license, and we can get from you. Would that be all right? You want the mic?
But I just checked online. Banglamung Hospital also have the cannabis clinic. Yeah. Banglamung Hospital also have it. It's a government hospital, and but I'm not sure because as I know, right now the government control the cannabis production, so we have also only the GPO one and the Apaipu-based one, and another strain from the north, but. Anyway, you can consult the doctor in Banglamung Hospital to get the prescription for that. So for me, it's about take another long time. May I have a question, please?
Yes, please.
From your experience, how about the juicing, the cannabis, the leaves juicing, right? Compared to the oil extraction or some other form?
I think it's kind of debatable. Some of the doctors, especially in the U.S., they strongly believe that juicing cannabis fresh, raw, has more medicinal benefit because of you not destroying the compounds in the cannabis. Okay, that would go straight directly to your health. It's very good. However, on the other theories, different doctors have different ways of thinking. Just like making tincture, making CBD, extract CBDs and THC apart from each other or good for different type of problem or illness. So I think either way is very good. Raw cannabis, actually I'm using that. I do the juicing every morning with the vegetables and the fruits. And excellent, I love the taste of it. It's so really fresh in the morning. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I had a renal colic stone jammed in my urethra between my kidney and bladder. Bloody hell, painful. And I took CBS oil to reduce the inflammation, which it did, but obviously the stone was still there. So I looked in Peru for a plant called Chandra Pedra, and I ordered some of that, and it's known as the stone breaker, because I didn't want an operation to go into my urethra, and it's gone. The stone's gone, and the CBS oil helped me get over it. Thank you very much.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I think this is a very, that's important to share our knowledge together, you know, from the experience. Absolutely, that is fabulous. So, yeah, please let us know. I mean, please put, Ren, if you could put in the circulation of the, you know, and Judith, and unless, you know, put in the circulation of the club, so everybody would know. Would be very, very, very beneficial, just like the hemorrhoid medicine that I prescribe to you without any license, not required. Yes. My lovely wife would like to share her experience.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for coming. And it's very encouraging for us to see such an excellent turnout. One of the reasons why we became involved, in addition to his sleeping problem, is I had neuropathy in the bottom of my feet for about 5 years. And I don't know, I think that some people knew me at this time, and I was actually in a wheelchair. I couldn't go to Central because it was so painful. It was burning pain all the time. I went to every doctor, I went to every hospital in Bangkok. Anybody who knew anything, I went to see them. I studied everything, and nothing helped me for the pain, nothing. And then I went to a physical therapist, and he says, why don't you try cannabis? Well, when I grew up, you never did anything with cannabis, you know. But I tried it, and it worked. It really worked. I wouldn't say 100% of the pain was gone, but shortly thereafter, I could almost be normal. I could almost walk normally. And this is truly happened. And so many people here in this room know me at this time and how much it changed my whole life. I will tell you, it did not cure me, but it did help me to be normal and to help my pain. Ultimately, that gave me the strength to go on and to find the cure. And I did through Thai herbal medicine. And I have been pain-free now for almost 3 years, and it started with cannabis, and I'm so happy. And thank you.
That was true. You know, I had to live with her in pain for many years. And at the end of the year, every hospital gave her a plaque, the best customer of the year, the best patient of the year, because he's spreading wealth all over all the hospitals in Thailand. Yes, please.
Well, listening to John there, can you tell me, can you get rid of gallstones? Gallstones?
Stone?
Gallstones.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not an expert in that area.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Paisan on your left.
Yeah, yes. I think that's...
Yes, is it true that you can, you're allowed to grow 6 or 8 plants for your own consumption?
It is true, but there always a catch. It is true for Thai people, according to the law, to grow cannabis up to 6 plants. However, you have to get together with your neighbors in the same village, on the same tambon, to organize a so-called community enterprise วิสาหกิจชุมชน According to the law, once you organize that, it's not difficult. You just go to the local agricultural provincial office to apply for that, to organize a community enterprise. Get together, and in addition to that, you have to be in contract with the local government hospital. That you have to donate. Originally, you have to donate all the flowers and buds and seeds for charity to those organizations, to the hospital. So actually, you cannot use it, the flowers. You donate it, they extract it, they make it into medicine, and they can dispense to you. But right now, the new law allows you to use the rest of the tree. You can use the leaves, you can use the roots, you can use the branches, you can use the stem for your own consumption. Yes, you can. And it's got a lot of medicinal benefit. The roots, excellent for arthritis, the roots. With the alcohol, that is made from khao niao, sticky rice. All right? That you put in there, just like you eating those, worms in the tequila. Right? You have to soak it in there, leave it in there for about a month. It's excellent for arthritis, joint pain, everything. It's fabulous. It's miracle. Does that answer your question, sir? Yeah.
Sorry to take the mic again, but I forgot to mention my blood pressure is exceptionally high. In fact, I suffer with white coat syndrome, if you all know that. See a doctor or a nurse. My blood pressure shoots up to well over 200, and this is not good. So when I started taking CB for this problem with my kidney, my blood pressure has dropped down to 145 over 72. It's never been that low. So thank you for cannabis.
Congratulations. I'm happy for you. Absolutely. This is a testimony. See, it's real life fact. This is not something unreasonable. Yes, that's great. Thank you for sharing. Yes, sir.
Yes, I have a friend back in the U.S. that was suffering from bleeding ulcers, and he was doctoring for several years, and his diet was, he couldn't hardly eat anything because of his ulcers, and he was in pain a lot of times from his ulcers, and he started taking, this is a couple of years ago, he got CBD, I don't remember if it was the pills or the oil, but he got it out of California, and because it wasn't available in Wisconsin, and he started taking that, and after about 6 months, he went back to the doctor, and his ulcers were gone. He was fine, and then he could start eating everything, and he said, I keep taking it, but he said, I don't have any more problems with ulcers, and I can eat anything I want. So, cured him.
Thank you. Yeah, are we going for the lucky draws? Or who doesn't have their numbers? Yeah, please. Okay, for lucky draws. Okay, it's the first 5 prizes for lucky draws. Okay, you will be getting a free cannabis drink or anything with cannabis in your drinks. The first lucky ones for increase your sex drive. I don't think anybody wants that. Okay, we kind of prepare more than the participants, so some
Oh.
numbers might not, you may not have it.
All right, early numbers through. Make sure you unwrap your number and have a look at it. I've got 75. Anyone got 75? Oh.
Oh, wow, wow.
Come over here. I've got 11. Anyone got 11? Oh,
Oh, another
come on
lucky
down.
person.
I've got 13, lucky 13. Anyone got 13? Yeah, we got more numbers than we got. Yeah. Is that one? Is that the one there? 64. 64. Come on over. Come on down. We got, how many more we got?
Okay, 2 more for the first batch.
2 more. Oh, I've got to do it all. Number 8. Do we have a number 8? Number 8. No one? Anyone? You just keep going. Number 50. 50. Come on. Yay! This guy looks like he might have done some marijuana in his youth. I don't know.
Someone will be in trouble.
78. 78.
Okay, this is 5 now. Okay, the next 5. The next 5, the drink is for. You'll be sounding more convincing when you try to negotiate something with your spouse or your loved ones.
Keep going.
That's for the, another 5. No.
If you open the numbers, it'll go fast. I've got 15. 1 5. Anybody? No, lucky number 15. I feel like I should get one of those ladies. Number 91. 91. 91. Oh yeah, come on over. $37. 37. 37. 27. 27. Yay.
Well, less.
54. 54. 54. Anyone got 54? That's it.
Okay, the next 5. The next 5. People that have Alzheimer. Okay. Now after you go to Gun Coffee, you drink this, you go straight home. You don't get lost along the way. You go back to your spouse.
You don't end up winding up in soy 6 by accident, okay? That goes your excuse. 36. 36. Come on, I know there's a 36 out there somewhere. 47. 47. 42. 42, anybody? 42. 42. 40. 40. 40. Fours are not very popular at the moment, are they? 51. 51. Oh, John. 44. Hey, good one. Come on up. Come on over. This is your reward for spending consolation for 13 months in the USA. Number 80. 80. No one? And 20. Come on, I know there's a 20 out there somewhere.
Okay, the next 5. Honey? The next 5, right? Okay, the next 5. For you to be forever young.
Talking about young, I've got very young ages. 2, 3. Got a 3? Oh, young at heart over there. 85. 85. 29. 29. Yay! 45. I feel like I already pulled it. 45. Oh, Mr. Maxey. Going to max out today. Well, you might have missed out. There's not too many. You might be going to the last. We're down to the last? Oh, no, we've still got some. 52. 52, 52. Yay. 59. 59. Anyone with 59? 59, anyone? No. Here we go. Number 22. 22. Just lost that one. 35. 35, anyone? 35. Hey. 93. Good. How many more we got left? 79. Lucky last. 79. 79. No. 83. 83. 83. Somebody started to get excited. Somebody's got an 8 in there. 68. I know you were hoping for 69. You missed out. 68. Number 5. Number 5. Someone have 5? Oh, yay.
Okay, I'd like to throw in 2 more grand prizes.
The 2
Right
grand
there,
prizes.
the drinks.
2
Okay,
grand
before we go to that, I'd like to remind you that we have products for sale at exceptionally high discounted prices only here for
That's some
PCEC meetings.
stuff for sale
Alright.
outside.
Okay,
I've got
the first
big
prize
prizes.
is the cannabis leaf tea with honey. You'll be so sweet without diabetes.
Okay, I've got 2 numbers, 19 and 92.
Okay, another one, the red cap,
Yay, there you
is
go.
the cannabis leaf with the stem and branches. That is without sweet because you are already sweet. You can drink it. Yeah, use it for within 2 days. Within 2 days. Okay.
All right, huge round of applause for Paysan. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful talk on the marijuana revolution in Thailand. And I've got a favor to ask you.
Yes, sir.
No, not get high. But I was wondering if you could help me track down a Thai traditional doctor that might be able to give a talk here at the club.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. And I have to say, I think we're very rarely lucky enough to have a Thai person actually be able to give a talk as wonderful as this, who actually isn't a Thai doctor. So thank you so much. It was a wonderful, wonderful talk.